Good afternoon. Today is the 12th of January, 2024. Fighting a bit of a cold, in case you hear anything in my voice. Caught it from my housemate. Goes around in the wintertime. We'll see how much energy I have today. Weather is going to change a lot starting tonight, so I may not have many opportunities in the next week to work on my project here, but so I'll do what I can today. My intention today is to install my rebuilt carburetor, which I did rebuilt a couple days ago in a rainstorm. That was a lot of fun, but it worked out fine. Um, and of course, connect the ignition system back up, new coil, new spark plug wires, all those things. I have my new fan clutch in now too, so I can put the fan on. See what I can do about that shroud that goes around the fan. So might get lucky. Might actually try and start this thing today. We'll see how it goes. I sealed my carburetor in a plastic bag the other day in that rainstorm. I didn't want it to get wet, but it looks like that might have been a mistake. If you look real close, you see these weird little growths or something going on there. I don't know what the heck that is. I just don't know what that is or how it got there. But I'm going to take my air gun and see if that'll blow off or at least wipe it off. That's kind of weird. I wasn't expecting to see something like that. And then I had to laugh when I looked at my replacement carburetor base gaskets. Same part number, same manufacturer, Mr. Gasket, well-known name. And yet the two base gaskets are slightly different. This one has slightly bigger holes here, smaller there. This one has 4 small holes all the way around. It's like, wow. I don't know if that's a lack of quality control or if it even makes a difference at all. I don't know. I mean, this base does definitely have bigger holes on the primaries, so this one will go against the carburetor, and this will just go underneath this. I don't know if I need to. Yeah, those are bigger too on the primaries. Now that I look at it, so I think I'm actually going to have to carefully make the holes a little bit bigger on the primaries on this other gasket. Just amazing what you find. Something else I wanted to point out is that I bought a couple of generic mufflers from Waldron Exhaust. These are Walker mufflers. What I did is I measured with a tape measure my old muffler, length, width, height, and tried to find a generic muffler that would match up to it. So I'm going to sometime today unpack one of these, lay it down next to this one, and see if it's a close match. Hopefully it is, because it's a lot cheaper than buying the OEM style bolt-on. So we'll see what that looks like later. All right, I took a little time to manually slice out these holes and make them a little bit bigger. Just use the box cutter. It's not the prettiest thing, but the holes are bigger now. They're closer to the size of the main part of the mains on the carburetor. I forget what to call them now. Just not an expert at all this stuff. So anyway, just putting my gaskets on. I have no idea which way to face these, if it makes any difference at all. I suspect it probably doesn't make any difference at all. So I'm just putting this together like so. And then this one, my modified one, with the bigger holes now. Okay, now the carburetor sits on top of that, like so. And there you have it. Carburetor's in place. So now I'm going to cinch it down with the little nuts that I have right here. Different sizes, but they're all the same. They all fit the studs there. And then start connecting the linkage, the hoses, everything else that needs to go on. Moving along. There's another little conundrum I'm facing. The PCV valve. Here's the hose I'm going to use. I think there's probably something missing in the system here. I don't know exactly what. I know some of the other designs, maybe on the 460, had a steel line over here, and the PCV valve was threaded, and it just screwed into that, and the hose is connected to that steel line. But that's not what I've got here, and I don't think the car, all it had when I tore it apart was just a hose, which is what I have now. So I'm hoping that I can just put this in line in the hose, but one side of this is bigger than the other, so I'm not sure how that's going to work or if it's going to work. I also don't even know which way this faces, so I got to go look that up to see which way I'm supposed to face this, because it does matter. I'm going to try one last update. I'm not sure where my videos have been going, but I guess they're on my phone somewhere, potentially. I'll find them later and hopefully stitch together a video update. So right now you're looking at my fan here with my brand new clutch on it. Isn't that pretty easy to set up? I also am attempting to do something about holding the bottom of the fan shroud to the radiator, just using some clips there, some paper clips used for binding, or binding clips, I forget what they really are. And in case this didn't come through earlier, I do have my carburetor installed on the car now. I have a PCV valve inline and a hose here. I know that's not the original design, but I must be missing some piece or something. I don't know, but my old engine didn't have apparently what it was supposed to have, so I just made do. So having trouble with this choke kit, rebuild kit that goes down here and everything. The kit I have doesn't seem to work right, so I got to do some more research on that to see if I can figure out how to get that choke fixed. Um, Took a while to get all the linkage to the manual linkage hooked up to the carburetor, but I did finally get it done. It also pulls down that hose that I was curious about earlier. There was a hold down indeed. I just didn't remember that it was part of the carburetor hold down, linkage hold down. So that's about all I've gotten done today. I'm losing my daylight in a hurry. I guess I'm not going to get the chance to start the engine today after all. Things always seem to take longer than I would like, but I am going to see if I can get this fan shroud and the fan on before I call it quits for the day. All right, I'm wrapping this up. It's getting dark, and I don't know what the weather holds for tomorrow. I have a feeling it might be inclement. We'll see. Different angle from the carburetor that's installed. I had these weird little growths on there from sitting in the shed for a couple of days in a sealed bag. I guess I shouldn't have sealed it, but I was able to clean most of it off with just pressurized air. I just hope there's nothing inside lurking in a passage that's going to cause problems. So I'm not going to worry about it right now. You can see that my linkage is all hooked up here. I've got new vacuum lines here connected to the brake booster and the transmission modulator. That other port is closed off right now because I'm minimizing the amount of vacuum being used initially. Vacuum advance to the distributors hooked up. I just finished installing the fan. The fan shroud, my little MacGyver trick worked on one side, but not on this side, and it's a lot of work trying to get this to work. So for now, this will do. It's not a perfect solution, and it's not the last solution. I also discovered that one of my fan bolts is bent. I didn't know this before, and I guess I didn't realize it because I didn't take the fan off. It was in the trunk of the car along with the bolts, so I'll have to replace that. I don't happen to have that particular size and thread in my shed anywhere, so I've got 3 of the 4 bolts on there holding the fan on with the new fan clutch. So all I have left now as far as trying to start the car is setting up my ignition wires, spark plug wires, and hooking up the Pertronics to the new coil. Got to still hook that up and install it, and I got to figure out what to do about that choke. If I can't get a quick solution on the choke heater, then or the stove, then I may just manually control the choke initially, at least to get the car running, and keep working on that. So made some progress, not quite as much as I was hoping, but still, progress is progress. Have a good evening. Thanks.